Hi, everybody. So I am live for the very first time, trying out some new software here today. So it should be fun. If you're tuning in, I'd love for you to jump in the chat and introduce yourself, say hi, and just say your name and where you are tuning in from. So for anyone who is new to my world, my name is Caleb Walters. I am the founder and owner of Good Cheer Tech Studio, and I'm based in Chile, Newfoundland, Canada. So we are on the very east coast of North America. So we do everything first. And this is a first for me to do this thing live. And I'm going to be doing office hours live bi-weekly. So the next one will be in 2 weeks. I think it's the 23rd. So here in Newfoundland, we call that Tibbs Eve. So that's just a day that everyone can get together, family and friends, and pre-drink before we drink again on the 24th and the 25th and the 26th. So you get the drift. So I'll be doing that before I officially sign off for Christmas holidays. So it's very festive here in my office today. I finally got all the Christmas decorations out, but I thought it would be a good time to have that done for this event today. So office hours are intended to be just a way that you guys can have access to somebody like myself, and in the future, a few guest experts for asking like web design questions and anything that's related to web design. So I am not only a web designer, but I'm also a tech consultant and a tech expert. So I work with everything that is related to your website. So whether that's domains, email marketing, professional email setups, that could be webinars and online courses, anything that would connect to your website is what I specialize in. So the only thing I don't specialize in, and we'll be having a guest expert come in the new year to talk more about, is social media and like advertising. So the advertising side of things, I leave to marketing agencies and social media to the social media managers who are amazing at what they do. But everything else that is really like IT related is stuff that I can help you with. So whether you have a specific question or you just want some general guidelines or guidance on any of these kind of topics, this is the place to come every couple weeks and just grab your coffee, ask me questions. I am all ears, and I can't wait to share with you my expertise. So I have been building websites since 2002. So a very long time. I started off in high school. I was the very first program here in the province of Newfoundland to take on this new program that they were offering to teach web design. And this was a brand new concept. And I was in that program for 2 years. And then I've continued to create websites ever since, professionally since 2012, and most recently with Good Cheer Tech Studio as my full-time business. I've really started to dig in and help women entrepreneurs with the tech side of their business as well, because that was something that was really lacking in my community and in general, just to be able to have someone that you not only looking after your website, but also your all the tech things. If you have a problem with your domain, with your emails, you want advice on email marketing, that's all stuff that I can help with. Okay, so let's start out. I know I have somebody in the wings here. I have Miss Sarah here. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I am well. I'm a little nervous, always nervous for the first time of things. But thanks so much for coming on. I know that you have a question
Yeah,
about
thanks
new
for
biz.
doing this so that I can get you to answer my question.
Yeah,
So I
awesome.
have been debating this for a little while. I have my current business.
Mhm.
We've had a website for a long time, but we just opened then the optical side of things, that second business. So technically it is its own entity.
Yeah.
We have gotten as far as being able to have the Google page of it, but we have not created a dedicated website. And we're struggling with trying to decide, does it get its own website or does it just get a tab as such
Mhm.
on our website, or do we buy the domain and then it just redirects to that tab on my current website, because it's still under the umbrella, but it is technically a separate company. So I was wondering what you think of the advantages of having two different versus if I
Mhm.
just have it under my current website,
Yeah.
would I be buying a domain and then just
Yeah.
redirecting?
So I would definitely buy the domain regardless, so that you have it, and make sure that you get the .ca and the .com
Right.
for any Canadians out there watching. That .ca is gold here. Um, so tell me, remind me, is it in the same location, or do you have two different addresses?
No, it is the same, like, so it's the same building side by side. So two different doors technically, but you can access,
Yeah.
there is a lot of crossover.
Yeah, I think because you have the same address, you could get away with using the same website. It would only be like, yeah, if you had two different addresses, then you would definitely want to separate those, just for, so you don't have that confusion.
Yeah.
And you can, like, um, if you have the two Google things, then you should be fine too with, like, you're going to show up for the different businesses in Google search results, like in your maps, which is good. So what I would suggest just to start off with is have a new page on your current website. Make it really obvious, like in the navigation. Um, and also probably on your homepage to have a section like, are you here for, the optical side of things, or are you here for, the optometry? So like people can navigate to where they want to be.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I would have that pretty close to the top of your homepage, just so people start off in the right direction, like they can navigate and like choose their own adventure kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
and then
I know currently when you Google the optical at the VDC,
yeah,
under places, we will come up under the
yeah,
places tab, but then technically we don't come up anywhere else because that's the only Google page we have. But it
right,
does redirect to my other business. Like that's what pops up, is my other business pops up everywhere.
right, yeah. So like once you have a page on your website, you'll start to show up in like regular search results.
Okay.
And like it'll take a little bit of time, and you might even consider doing some like Google ads, possibly like in the new year, just to get a little bit more traction on that new page.
Okay.
um, but yeah, once you get that new page added, I would have the domain that you purchase redirect to the new page. Okay.
Okay.
But that specific section of your page, so not just the VDC, but
That specific part. Yeah.
that specific part. Yeah, just so people get where they want to go.
Okay.
And yeah, I would take it from there, because like if you only need one page right now to really explain what you're doing, that is the easiest way to get started. And then as you find like you might need more pages specific to, like if you need pages for the different brands of glasses that you sell and stuff like that, then you're looking into more like a website on its own.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But then you have like with the URL, you have a brand started. And you'll have a separate URL that you can use to sign up for like Facebook and everything like that. And if you do have a website on its own down the road, then you can just swap those out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, awesome. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Awesome, perfect. All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. All right. If there's anybody else in the wings that wants to chat live, I am available. So all you have to do is in the chat there should be a link that you'll click in order to join the stream. And we can chat on camera. In the meantime, while we're waiting, I have a couple of questions that were asked anonymously. So I am going to jump into some of those. Okay, let's bring those up here. Okay, so Stephanie sent in this question via email. So what are the most important things to include on the homepage of a small business website to make sure it converts visitors into customers? So this is a really great question. And this is one that I focus on in my homepage refresh challenge that you can find on my website, because making sure that your homepage is more than, just a button that clicks to a different section on your website is incredibly important. So I see a lot of folks that will just have like a really nice picture, a description of what they do, and then, they're leading people onto other pages. So what you want your homepage to be is essentially a summary of your business. Okay, because your homepage and your about page are the two most visited pages on your website, and you want those pages to essentially sell for you. Okay, you want everything on those pages that should be able to inform folks enough that they know that they want to take the next step and they want to dig in further. Okay, so on your homepage, you want to have a clear hero image, or at least one big impressive image at the very beginning, and then a good headline that explains like who you are and what you do, and if you're a local business, where you provide that service. Okay, so having those right when somebody loads on your website, that is the most important thing that you need. Okay, and in that section you should also have a call to action. So that would be a button that explains what action you want your site visitors to take. If you have somebody on your website, what do you want them to do, or what should they do in order to work with you or buy from you? So if that's booking a call, you want that button there, say book a call. And if somebody knows they already want to work with you, they jump right to either a booking calendar or a contact page. Okay. If you have a one-page website, that would scroll all the way down to your contact form. Okay. And then you would want more information about what you do. So I would have different sections about your main services. Typically, like you would see like probably 3 or 4 on a homepage. But if you have multiple, then just make sure that that information is mentioned, even just like a snippet of that on your homepage. I would also have mini like about section. So people want to know who you are, why they should buy from you. And this is going to help them or help you build trust. And then that can lead into a more detailed about page with a button within that section. I would also have any testimonials that you have. So social proof that what you do or what you sell is working. Okay. It doesn't have to have a lot of information in there, even if it is one testimonial. Okay. That is going to help prove that you are real, you work with real people, and what you're doing is working. And then I would either have a contact form on the bottom of your homepage or some way for them to know how to work with you or what that next step should be. So I typically have another call to action that leads to possibly like my services page or my shop, if that's something that you're working on. So that would be my recommendation for those types of websites for your homepage, at least. Okay. So don't forget, if you're just tuning in, you can add questions in the chat if you just want your question answered quickly, or if you do want to come on one-on-one and get more of like a hot seat experience, feel free to use the link in the chat there. Okay. So another question that came in was, what are some simple, quick SEO tips for a local business to improve their visibility and search results? Okay, so one of them I already mentioned in the last question, and that's having your the name of your business, or sorry, your location in the top hero section of your website. Okay, and making sure that that is tagged correctly. So there's different tags that you can use on your website, like called header tags, and they work in a hierarchy of from 1 to WordPress has 6. I think Show It and Shopify have 3. I'm pretty sure that it's as similar for Squarespace. They might have 4 actually, but those are all the hierarchy of importance on your website. So an H1 tag would be your most important information on your website, and you can only have one of those per page. But then you have H2 and H3, and I would typically put your location somewhere in that probably like H2 or H3 tag on the very first part of like your introduction section of your website. So that's going to help. Make sure that your website clearly states in text, readable text, that like your location. So not just like you're in Canada, but put in your actual street address if you are a local business trying to get like foot traffic into your store. Have your phone number there. Your area code is also another indicator to Google about your address. The other thing that you can do is like clearly have that like your address, your phone number, and everything on your contact page as well. And the other thing that I always recommend is like my quick hack for SEO is to, or for local SEO specifically, is to set yourself up in Google Business Suite. Okay, so have a Google Business listing so you start showing up in Google Maps results. And those results are actually like what you're seeing on the very top part of search results when you're looking for something like an optometrist near me. Okay, and that's what we were talking about earlier with Sarah. So she has those set up for her 2 companies. So when someone search for, an optometrist near me, she's showing up in the places section on Google search results. So that is like a quick hack to get showing up in Google search results while your website is still trying to, work its magic in terms of local SEO. Because SEO is what I call a long con. It doesn't work instantly. It is something that you have to constantly put work into, and it can take sometimes months to really see the fruit of your efforts. But if you have a Google business listing, you can kind of jump the queue. You can start showing up higher up on the first page of Google search results that way. And if you do have a local business and that's important to you, showing up on the first page, I always recommend getting as many Google reviews as possible, because the more reviews you have on that Google business listing, the more you're going to start showing up like ahead of your competition who doesn't. It shows Google that you are active, you have new customers, and that is going to give you even the leg up in a section of Google that might have some big competition, especially if you're like a hairdresser or something that there's a lot of saturation possibly in your industry. So for me personally, like I always ask all my clients to leave a Google review rather than anywhere else, because once it's on Google, I can repurpose that for other platforms. Okay. Hi, Jen. Just saw you come in. That's wonderful. Jen is one of my my clients from Vancouver. So glad to see you pop in, Jen. All right. So that should get you started always with the Google business listing. That's my hot tip for the day if you don't already have that. Okay. So if there's anybody else has any questions, feel free to pop it in the chat there, or use the link to pop in and say hello. Okay, let's see now. We got one more question here. All right, I'm just starting an online store. Should I use Shopify or WooCommerce? So this is a great question. There's a lot of folks looking into e-commerce, even more now than back in COVID days. So I've been getting this question a lot, actually. And these two platforms are similar in some ways and very different in others. So what I recommend is thinking about like what your needs are first, okay? Because you want to start off with a platform that is going to grow with you the way that you need to grow. Because switching platforms is a headache. It's possible, don't get me wrong, but if you have to do that after 2 or 3 years of business because Shopify or WooCommerce just isn't doing what you need, then you have years of sales data on one platform that you're not going to have on the other. So the big difference is what I see for clients, excuse me, is usability. WooCommerce, for anyone that isn't aware, is the e-commerce platform that comes for free with any WordPress self-hosted website. And in that sense, it's amazing. It's a free platform to get you selling online, but it also needs to be set up. Okay. It's pretty simple to set up the bare bones setup for WooCommerce, but in order to get it to do all the things that you might need to do, okay, you're going to need specific plugins for all of that. And that's where it just gets a little bit complicated. Okay. There's so much flexibility that it could possibly be a little bit overwhelming if you don't need all the features. Okay. Shopify is amazing if you're just starting out in e-commerce. You have a few simple products, whether it's like digital downloads, physical products that are somewhat straightforward, like either no variations or just like t-shirts and sweaters that have only like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like certain types of variations. But if you want to get into like really, really complex setups, or you see that's where your business is going down the road, you might want to look into WooCommerce as a great way to, that platform is going to grow with you. I have used all of them. I have used WooCommerce for years, and it has so much flexibility. But even recently, I moved my template shop over to Shopify because it's just so simple. It, even, from my years as a WooCommerce designer, I was amazed. I was just like, I didn't know it could be this easy to sell things. So, it's really about, I would consider long-term goals. But for now, I think ease of use would be to start off on Shopify. Okay. All right. Actually, I got one more question here. How do I improve my website's user experience so visitors stay longer? So this is a pretty complex topic, but one piece of advice that I tend to give clients a lot that they don't necessarily realize is that you want to have your website set up in such a way that users are actually needing to stay on your website. So one of the big reasons that users jump off your website pretty quickly is if you actually have your social media links in the header of your website. So they jump on your website, they see you're on Instagram, and they click out, and they have, they've disappeared pretty instantly. And that can actually hurt your SEO score, if visitors aren't staying on your website for a certain amount of time, if you have a high churn rate in that sense. So that's something to keep in mind. And then another thing is if you have users redirecting to third-party websites. So every time, you have a different service to sell tickets to an event, a different service where you're linking to see videos, if you have all these kind of third-party websites all linking, or you have a lot of links out to external websites, then that's going to decrease the amount of time that people are spending on your site. So that is something to keep in mind when you are doing that. On one end, it's easy, and you are going to if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do, in my opinion. But if you want, to increase your SEO score, then you want folks to stay on your website for as long as possible. So, but there are external sites that you might need. Okay, that there's no way around it. Online course platforms are a big one. What you can do in that case is that a lot of these third-party tech providers will allow you to do something called custom domains. So that could be just creating a subdomain from your original. So mine is goodcheertechstudio.ca. And I have a online course platform that uses a subdomain, which is learn.goodcheertechstudio.ca. Okay, so I have that set up so that, when I'm directing folks to the course that I have, that I'm actually still retaining the search engine juice that I want, because it's still tied to my domain. Okay, even though it's a third-party website, it's still connected to my domain, so I'm getting the benefits as if somebody was still on my website. Okay, so that is something that I recommend looking into to see if whatever services that you're linking out to, okay, will allow that. So you'll be looking for custom domains. Custom DNS might be another thing that you would look for, or sometimes it's called white labeling is something else that you can have a look for. Okay. Okay, so I think that's it for the questions that we have this week. I'll put out a final call for anyone to um, add questions in the chat. I'll also put in, this is the link here if anybody wants to jump on, okay, and chat one-on-one. Okay. Give that a second just to see if there's anybody here. All right. All right. I think that covers us for today. I will be back here next or in 2 weeks. So December 23rd. So 1 p.m. Eastern or 2:30 Newfoundland time. And yeah, we can chat about any questions that you have come up in the next couple weeks. So save those questions or email them to me so that I can get them all loaded up here. And if you feel like you want more of a one-on-one private session, I do have my new Site Spark sessions. So these are just a 30-minute website audit where we jump on a call and talk about your specific website needs. So we can audit the functionality, the content, the SEO features of your website, or really talk about anything that might be specific to your tech needs. So feel free to check that out and snag a session. I have some spaces available even before the end of the year if that was something that you wanted to do just to kind of hit 2025 with everything kind of covered, start off with a fresh slate. So feel free to check that out. Otherwise, I am on Instagram, so feel free, if you don't already follow me, I am Good Cheer Tech Studio on Instagram and here on Facebook as well. So I look forward to having you follow along. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. Have a great day, guys.